Good morning, LBHT crew. Good morning, Road Nation. Man, you guys are ready to talk about it. They are already lined up in the chat. Look at this. We got Michael Akins. Good morning. Says, good morning, guys and family. Good morning to you. We got Dr. Cush. Says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Cush. Grand Rising to Carmelo Moody. Salute. We got Rainmaker saying good morning on both channels. Oh, let me silence this because my crew they like to start early in the group chat. Rainmaker saying good morning on both channels. Appreciate that. Salute. We got TC in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Salute Jose and Hendo for the work y'all put in. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, TC. Point. Good morning. We got just Aloe. Salute. RJ Trap. Good morning. Both channels. Appreciate that. Thank you. Devin Janelle. Konnichiwa. We got Showcase. Good morning. Good morning. Mr. Chad. I almost made you doctor. DDSQ. Good morning. Good morning. We got Slim in the house. Good morning. Big Boy. Good morning. Wayne Drummond. Good morning. Tanja. Good morning.
Hey,
salute. Big Boy saying good morning on both channels. Salute to you. Salute. We got Coach. Salute, Coach.
What's up,
Appreciate
Coach?
you coming through. Michael Hawthorne. Yup. Tanja on both channels. Okay. Love that. Follower of Christ. Good morning. Ish Power. Salute. Good morning. We got Sea Iron Addict. What's going on?
Hey, brother.
Appreciate you coming through. Gregory Smith. Good morning. Ty Riggs. Salute. Neuropsych Sports. Salute. Reese. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Our cousin Davon's here. Cousin Davon read the newsletter this morning. Okay, that's what's up. I'm glad it's working. Everything is going well. Yes, the newsletter is back. It is back. If you didn't get it, then that means you didn't sign up yet. What you waiting for? It's free. LBHTShow.com. That's where you go. LBHTShow.com. Scroll down to the bottom. I might have to change the placement. I might put it at the top so you guys can see it as soon as you get there. But you scroll to the bottom. It's right there. Just put your email address in there. Boom. You signed up. You get the newsletter. Comes out every Monday at noon. Okay. That's the schedule for the newsletter. You don't want to miss it. All right. We put a little poll in there. We'll discuss the poll results on Wednesday's show. All right. So there we go. Okay. So AJ Brown was traded yesterday. They said it's not going to be official until June 1st, but they agreed to the trade. I'm curious to see what the trade compensation is going to be because obviously it's not going to involve this year's draft. All right. So you're talking about next year's draft. So is it a first round next year and something else? Or just a first rounder? I'm curious because I want to know what the Ravens refuse to give up for AJ Brown, but they could give up 2 first round picks for Max Crosby.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll find out. I'm sure more details will come out. And of course, people were questioning how did Adam Schefter come across this information? Did he pull a Diana Rossini or?
You never know.
I think this whole Diana Rossini thing is kind of funny, man. We were talking about it. We'll talk about it more in tomorrow's show. But when do we care about integrity and journalism? Because they've lost integrity like decades ago, right? Like it's not that many of them that are especially Adam Schefter. Good Lord, he does everything unethical to get the story, and nobody's been calling for his job, which is wild. All right, I don't care what Diana Rossini did to get her story. I don't care.
It's not our business.
No. ESPN tried to cover it up. You know how many things ESPN tries to, or not ESPN, the league. The league called ESPN to cover it up. You know how many times the league calls ESPN to shut down a story? You guys say nothing about it. Like Pablo Torre just did a whole investigation about how the league colluded against these players, especially Lamar Jackson. Have you heard anybody in ESPN talk about it?
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Facts.
All right. Let's see, 4,000 a night is 4,000 a night. So says Adam Schefter. There you go. There you go. Koya Media, what's good? What's good? So, all right. What do you think about AJ Brown going to the Patriots? I mean, we kind of felt that this was going to be the case, but now it's a little more official. How you feel about that?
I'm not happy. Like you said, they were willing to give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. Anything for the defense, anything to make this defense better. We got 2 defensive-minded a head coach and a defensive coordinator. So we got 2 minds coming together to make this defense better. A defense that a couple of years ago was number 1 in the league, sans a few players. But when it comes to the offense, we signed Xavier Gilroy. And I guess that's supposed to mean something. And most people are going to say, oh, that's a camp body, somebody. But no, you don't see these camp bodies on defense. You see them going out there and getting actual studs. Now, when it comes to getting Lamar Jackson some weapons, we never had the money. We never had the.
Oh, he froze for a second. Oh, he froze. Wait, is he coming back? No. Okay, you're back.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's right. You said we never have the.
We never had anything for the offensive side of the ball. Did a video last night talking about how Eric DeCosta said anything past the 4th round, you really can't find any value in those picks. But yet and still, we use those picks to draft guys that aren't going to make this team. We don't have enough roster spots to fill this team up if we have the depth and if we have the pieces that people say Eric DeCosta put on his team. So why not use the little bit that you have, the little roster room that you have to get offensive pieces for Lamar Jackson? It's just not happening.
I'm gonna go back and clip that part because I remember him saying that. But not only did he say 4th round, he said in the 1st round, after a certain point in the 1st round, the talent starts to drop off. Right?
I have.
I'm pretty sure he said that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I could have sworn he said that. I mean, he didn't say like there's no talent, but he said there's the talent starts to drop off after a certain point in the 1st round, right? So if you recognize that in the 1st round, and obviously going later into the draft, the talent drops off even more, right? Like, why aren't you being more aggressive in getting the talent, the top tier talent, higher in the draft, right? Because then you turn around and you get these guys that, oh yeah, we got great players, this is that. They give you the same BS, man. And I just don't know how long you can buy into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he tells you something, and then you guys just eat it up like it's the gospel, and it's just like, but you see it's not working. So we have to go into this draft and get some players. Not saying obviously we can't. It's not saying that we can't get guys later on. Not saying that, because you can't. But for this GM, who constantly strikes out, at least on the offensive side, like, he has to start getting those things right. So we'll see. Coach did a video yesterday, and you guys check out Coach too, Coach Evans, Sip to Tally Films. He's been putting out a lot of content, and he's breaking down a lot of these guys that you guys have been talking about. He's got tape on them, so check out his work. But Coach said yesterday, like, don't freak out if we don't go online in the 1st round. And I won't either. It's just something me and B always stress: O-line. You guys get sick of it, but the O-line's still bad. Like, I mean, we're not going to just stop talking about it just because they're not doing their job, right?
Right.
So, but no, I won't freak out because wide receiver, I would love them to get the wide receiver. Tight end, I know people don't want Kenyon Sadiq, but he looks like he could be a playmaker. He if he can be a playmaker, he's just as good as a wide receiver, right? In terms of his impact on the offense. Even on the defensive side, interior D line is a need. I wouldn't love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to go defense first, but it is a need. Even if they got somebody like Ruben Bain, I wouldn't necessarily love that either. But he looks like he could be a special player too. So I won't throw my controller at the TV or anything like that. So there are very few things that they could do to really get me upset. But cornerback is one of those things.
That's a strong possibility, though.
Yeah, linebacker is one of those things. Bucko Beasley, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. It says EDC, Mr. Eat Dookie Crumbs. Wow. Wow.
Once again, we don't make up the names.
We don't. We don't. Hey, Bazel, what's good? On
What's
both
up?
channels. Salute,
Indeed.
salute. Thanks for coming through. God's favorite on both channels. Salute.
Appreciate it.
Mohammed, salute. Joey, I see you in here. Stu Wop, I see you. What's good?
What's up?
SB Cam, good morning.
Morning.
Drift Sports, good morning. Good morning. But yeah, so are you in the same mindset? You want to see O-line first?
No.
What's your
Yes,
hierarchy?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Oh,
It's O line. And I'm a wide receiver guy. Like wide receiver is it for me offensively. But I understand you saying that we could go in the later rounds and get offensive linemen. Eric DeCosta hasn't proven that to me. If this were some other team, I'd be like, yeah, fine. We go to second, third round and pick up some guys that can contribute. But since 2019, Eric DeCosta has not shown me that he can draft offensive lineman, period. Outside of Tyler Linderbaum, which was a hit, it's kind of hard to miss on that one, but he hasn't shown me. Roger Rosengarten, we thought he was going to be that guy. He regressed last year. He might bounce back because of what he had beside him. But outside of that, I'm not trusting him beyond the first round without getting a surefire talent to protect Lamar Jackson that he can get it done. Because if we do, in my opinion, go wide receiver in round one or tight end, he's going to go defense in round two, guaranteed. So then we have to go third, fourth round and wait for him to select what's left over. And I don't think that I don't think that his scouting department does that great of a job.
yes, and Ty correctly pointed out, Hendo, didn't you make up Eric he cost us? Yes, and that has picked up some steam as well. Okay. But that is very, very light in comparison to what you guys come up with. Okay.
Thanks.
Just Alex says, Jose, you'll be on camera when they draft, so you won't be able to throw your remote at the TV. Well, I mean, this is all true. I still won't throw it. I won't feel the urge to throw my remote at the TV. Okay.
Right.
In Gerbo, that was Hendo. That was you.
But the names I make up have truth to them. Therein lies the difference.
Yeah. Well, listen, again, that's light in comparison to those Nigerians. Somebody said, get all those Nigerians off our team. Very, very xenophobic over there. Tori, what's going on? It's a good day, my good brothers. I don't know about you, but I always have a little bit of anxiety leading up to the draft night. Not at this point for us. We have a lot of pessimism.
Yeah.
I'm it's weird this year because Harbaugh isn't here. So overall, I'm in a positive mood.
Mm-hmm.
But EDC has not done a good job this offseason so far, in my opinion.
Right.
And I'm curious. I'm not anxious or nervous. I'm curious to see, can he get it done in the draft without Harbaugh, right? Like, because he hasn't gotten it done with Harbaugh. I want to see without the Harbaugh influence, new coaching staff. I'm curious to see, is it going to be same old Ravens or is it going to be something different?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I don't put too much stock sometimes into the articles that I read, but each day I'm reading more and more where they're trying to justify a cornerback in the first round. And that to me is just like, come on, guys. Come on.
They go cornerback. That's a straight up joke. You'll hear me rant on day one. I'm expecting to go off on day two if they don't do what they need to do. Right. Day one should be pretty light. There's very few moves that they can do to set you up. But cornerback is one. Bucko Beasy, salute. Thank you for the super chat. Says, in my opinion, I believe Ravens will get another second rounder. That would set me off a little bit too, right? You already have too many picks. You trade back for more picks. I would be irritated. I wouldn't be upset, but I'd be irritated. And I would really be looking at EDC. I'd be saying, all right, bro, like, you wanted all these picks. They better work. And there are no excuses. And I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, well, they're a second round rookie. You got to wait. No, you chose that.
Right.
You said that the talent drops off. going later into the draft, and you decided to go later into the draft for the talent. So you chose that, and you better be right about it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, he could surprise us and trade some of the later round picks to move up. Like that could be an option. I don't know if it's going to happen because he did say one time, "Yeah, we have 11 draft picks for now. I would like more." For what? Where are you going to find these roster spots?
Yeah, you'll like more. I mean, yeah. All right, Eric. I'm sure you would. Yes, Era de Costas. Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. Didn't you come up with Ozempic? Did you come up with that?
Probably not. Wasn't me.
Good morning, Zeke. Thanks for
What's
coming
up,
through. Oh man, it's a good day. Glad to have you both back full and charged. Yes, thank you, Tori. Thank you. Appreciate that. What's up, Kwame? Good morning.
Morning.
He says real coaches have valuable input. Yeah, of course. They they give you input for sure. Not saying that they shouldn't, right? But John Harbaugh had more than just input. Let's just be real. You know, he had way too much influence in who they picked. Way too much influence. You know, they'll tell you that they didn't, but you look at some of those picks and it's like, obviously, this is Harbaugh. Obviously.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, without him there, and yes, Jesse's going to give his input, but ultimately it falls on a GM. It's your job to get the guys that the coach needs, right? And it's supposed to be separate for that reason, because yes, a coach can sit there and say, I know what guys I need for my team. You know what type of players you need for your team, yes. But sometimes a coach gets blinded by, loyalty to the players, or just, I like this person, this guy played for me and I really want him on the team. I think he'll fit. Well, he played for you. You want him on a team. Yes. And yes, but he doesn't fit what you do. Right. But those other two factors cloud your judgment. A GM is supposed to be separate from that and say, no, he doesn't actually fit what you do. This guy fits more with what you do. I know you don't know him, but he's a better fit.
All right.
That's what they're supposed to do, and that hasn't happened with Baltimore. JR, good morning.
What's up?
Tyree says, hey yo, I'm sorry I started it, but we got receipts. All love, brother. Hey.
Pretty light.
Dance fan saying good morning on both channels. Salute. And Rob, good morning. Says fire EDC. It's not yet. We'll see how this draft goes. Noble Forever says you need dogs. Yeah. I mean, we can have 15 draft picks. We draft and we can get all of our offensive linemen in the 6th and 7th rounds. I'm gonna criticize it. I'm gonna say it's not gonna work, but I'm gonna cheer for it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That would be amazing. Actually, that would be amazing. And I would praise him for that. But you know damn well that's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, look back at Adisa Isaac. He was supposed to be a hit. Aeneas Peebles was supposed to be a hit. TJ Tampa was the steal of the draft. And these pundits now are writing about we need to get somebody in to start ahead of him. But they were also the same ones saying, oh, EDC knocked it out the park. Like, which one is it? Did he knock it out the park, or do we need somebody to replace them? Like, we really haven't seen him play, or Peebles. But yet still they want to replace the guys on defense. But when it comes to offensively, it's settle down. Let's see what they got. I believe in him. You don't believe in guys on defense, you go out there and get studs. If you don't get them in the draft, you get them in free agency. You wait till June 1st cuts. You bring in guys that you know could play defensively. But offensively, it's just, hey, it is what it is. Lamar will overcome the deficiencies.
Let me ask y'all something. Jordan Tyson, is his stock falling a little bit? You think he'll be there at 14?
It's actually risen since he's done his little individual pro day a week before the draft. It may have answered some questions for some teams, and they seem to be a little bit higher on him. Now, is John Harbaugh, knowing that the Ravens may be interested in him, is that somebody he picks up? Into what you said before, you bring in a Jordan Tyson, now that gives you a little more leverage to trade Malik Neighbors. because you're bringing in one of your guys, and now you can let go of a guy that you know is a diva or you believe perceived to be a diva. So
if the Giants draft a wide receiver, which I see people starting to mock that because they have 2 top 10 picks, Malik Neighbors is definitely gone. He's definitely gone. They're not gonna. He's not. Harbaugh's not gonna pair up, 2 of them. And Neighbors, who's a little bit more vocal about getting the ball, Harbaugh don't want to deal with that at all, at all. So, okay, if Carnell Tate's off the board, Jordan Tyson's off the board, Casey Concepcion, we like him in the first round.
Makai Lemon.
Oh yeah,
he's an option.
Yeah. I like both of them.
Yeah,
I like both of them. You know,
Concepcion, confident young player, very confident young player.
I love that. I love it.
Only thing is his hands aren't confident.
I can deal with drops if you're making plays. That was Teteroa last year. He had a few drops. Didn't matter. He made it up with bigger plays. T.O. when he played, he had a case of the dropsies. You don't remember that because he made all the plays. Thanks. So that's not the end all be all. If he drops a pass here and there, if he can make it back up, then it's all good. It's all good. The problem is, we don't really have guys that can make it up. Zay Flowers does his best. Like Zay Flowers Zay Flowers makes it up. He needs to make more explosive plays. He doesn't really drop the ball. He fumbles. He does a little dancing and fumbling. That's you kind of roll your eyes, but he doesn't have a drop case. The other guy, I don't want to talk about it because people get a little sensitive about it, but he drops a pass. That might be the last time you see him for the rest of the day.
Confidence is gone.
Listen, man, I said I wasn't gonna talk about him, but look, if you like him, you like him. I get it. I know you saw what he did the year before, and you figure like, hey, that's what he can do with more opportunities. Well, what he did the year before still wasn't good enough. Like he was the number 1 receiver for a while because Zay Flowers was out, and he looked fine, but he didn't look like a top wide receiver. And we could say, okay, he could have built off of that, whatever the reason is, right? He didn't instill enough confidence in the coaching staff and Lamar Jackson, and I didn't hear him complain one time. Right? When you're a wide receiver and you're the man, a few things happen. 1, you demand the ball, obviously. 2, you don't sign a contract that they gave you, that BS contract. You say, no, I'm gonna hit free agency like Tyler Linderbaum just did and break the bank in free agency. That's what you do, right? The minute he signed a contract, we all try to tell you guys he ain't it. That's for wide receivers, especially for wide receivers, like other positions, age factors into sometimes age. Like, hey, I just don't want to move around anymore. I'll take this. But he's going into his prime. This is like his main earning potential years. For him to take that small deal, right, when he could have definitely made more free agency, told me he wasn't confident in himself. And he played exactly that way. He played up to his contract. So I just
it's crazy. It was crazy. There was a point in time when he was the leader of the wide receiver room. It was him, Duvernay, and Prochet. And that was the wide receiver room.
Yeah. And yes, I know he had to battle through some injuries.
Yeah.
I know he had to battle through some injuries. I get all that. But he's going into what, year 6?
Yes.
5, year 5 or 6. I'm sorry, man. I can't keep making excuses for you that far into your playing career. I just can't. Oji-san says, go ahead.
But I will give him the benefit of the doubt. New offensive coordinator. And, some offensive coordinators, they know when they have certain guys that have certain talent levels, when they're down on their confidence, they design plays specifically for them. They'll try to feed them the ball early and often to kind of get their confidence back up. We didn't do that. Todd Monken wasn't that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Would go to a guy, get him going early to see what he had. It was pretty much Zay sweep, jet sweep, Zay screen, Zay over the middle. Like it was just Zay all the time. So, Rashod didn't get an opportunity to make good on his extension. even though part of
Money.
it was him. Most of it was him because he didn't run the right routes. He gave up on plays. He lost confidence, but it's partially the team's objective to get him more involved. And I don't think that they had the confidence in him to do that. So we'll see with Declan what they'll do and how they'll utilize him. Because Jesse said we want him around, we value him. We just have to have Rashod do his part.
See, and I have no doubt he could play better. That's not a question, right? I don't think last year was a representation of what he is at his best. I'm saying at his best, he's not an elite wide receiver.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Or near elite, right? We can have arguments about Zay Flowers, how he's close to that top tier. We're never gonna have a conversation about Bateman. So if you're saying, hey, keep him because he'd be a solid 3, a solid contributor, that's fine. But we talking about him like we don't need anybody else because we have him. That conversation has to stop. OG Sean says Denzel Boston is a 3-level threat, big body receiver, something that completes our receiving room. KC is too similar to Zay. Listen, man. I mean, who's better? That's what I want to know. I want good wide receivers. I don't care about archetype. I want what is a different. I mean, it's nice if you can have that type of wide receiver that could do everything, but can he play? That's all I want to know. Can he play? If we had 2 Steve Smiths playing opposite of each other, I don't care what their size is. They're going to make plays, right? They can get open. They can get the catch. They can make the catch. They just need to do all those things. We worry too much about the size of the wide receiver. I don't care about the size. Size is not a skill, right? Is he good? But hey, Denzel Boston, I've heard some good things about him. I wouldn't be mad at that either. Cardinal Tate, Mekhi Lemon, like all these names. I did I mocked Chris Brazil in our official mock draft on Wednesday. Right. So there you go. He's like 6'5" or whatever. Right. So there's your big body wide receiver there. Coach says chill.
I'm sorry I mentioned. I love Prochet, but like I want him to succeed.
I want all the Ravens players to succeed. Right. When we say these things, that's not us hating. We're just calling it how we see it. I just can't do the projection thing with this team anymore. We project way too much things on these players that have never proven it. Never proven it. Queendom Come, what's going on? Says you didn't have to convince me. I was off bait 2 years ago. Was it even worth that sorry contract we gave him? Dang, I wasn't even gonna go that far, but
I mean, you think about it. The first time, $5 million year extension. No wide receiver worth his weight in salt is going to be like, yeah, that's cool. I'll take that. And then they turn around and what did he get second time? 12 mil, which isn't much better, especially if you were thinking of yourself as a low end 1, high end 2. Like
that's what I'm saying.
That's nothing.
B&B kind of we got a lot of criticism for that at the time, right? Because we both were on the same page. Like you signed that, you're not feeling yourself. You don't have the confidence. But as a wide receiver, and you feel like you're number 1, ain't no way you take that contract. There is no way you say, okay, I'm cool with that. I'll take that. You'll say no. Even if you felt like you're a solid number 2,
right?
There's no way you're taking that contract. You're saying, I'll wait until free agency because I know somebody will sign me.
Right.
He signed that too quick.
Especially during the time wide receivers were making 30, 32 mil at that time. And he said, I'll take 5. You keep that extra 26 million. I don't need it. Like that's crazy. But he would have made more on the open market. Some team would have overspent for him, and he just didn't want to take that chance.
Yeah,
he went with the Scottie Pippen deal. He went with that safe deal to secure some money just in case he got hurt again. I think that's what it might have been. He just thought he couldn't stay healthy, and he was going to take what he could get. But he could have gotten commanded more on the open market.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. There's a lack of confidence. I be saying, what's going on? Says Bateman gone. What are we talking about? He's not gone. No. Not yet. But I be saying was the one I pointed out when they did when he was looking on the shop for jerseys for the new jerseys. Bateman was not on the store. Okay.
He was not in the store?
Now, B has pointed out that they don't put all the players on the store, on the shop.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So it could just be one of those things that, he doesn't sell enough jerseys. So we can't, we're not going to include him in this round of jersey sales.
If I find a Teddy Buchanan jersey and not a Bateman,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the list of players that are on the shop, but he said they don't always put all the players on the shop. That's what he said.
I bet I can find a Tavius Robinson jersey.
He was in the picture, wasn't he?
Yeah.
This is where the whole thing started because they had a little picture of the Ravens players and they had Roquan on there twice, and I was like, man, I feel like he was photoshopped in there because it might have originally been Bateman, and they're like, actually, no, he won't be around.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Draft day deal, like that could already be done, and then just wait until the draft to announce. It's a possibility. Same thing happened with Hollywood. They had that deal done days before the draft and just waited. So,
oh, that's right. You're right about that. Who else we got in here? Tanja says that was a disaster by EDC, saying Bet was going to lead that Prochet, Duvernay, and Bait room. We had to go get Sammy Watkins. Yeah, to Marcus Robinson. Oh my God, yes,
correct.
yes. I remember that. Yeah.
Stop.
Imagine Magic Worlds. What's going on?
So,
What's going on? Thanks for coming through. Says Habdier. Is that how you say it? As we say in Germany, I don't speak German at all. I'll have to research that. Okay. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly. He says, sorry for being late to your show. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Shout out to Germany.
Indeed.
Appreciate that. Okay, people were saying Boston they like better than Concepcion. All right. Hey, listen. If that's what it is, I'm good with it. Right. I'm good with it. I just want a good player. I'm not going to sit here and split hairs over that. I couldn't tell you for any certainty whether that's the case or not. If you guys all believe that, then right. I'm going with what y'all say. All right. I'm trusting you guys on that. Ty Riggs, thank you for the super chats. By the way, I got to get that King Henry jersey in black. Man, those jerseys are fire. How many of y'all ordered a jersey, or did it sell out? You guys couldn't get it.
They sold out.
Oh, did they sell out?
I don't know if all of them sold out, but the hottest ones are on back order until May.
Man, well, if you guys need something right away, I know you need something right away.
Right.
This is available on LBHTShow.com. I gotta get actual picture of the merch, but it's all. If you go on the site, the merch is up. Okay, you can get one of those right there. Very nice, very nice. You like what I'm wearing right now? Fells Point Mafia. Boom. There you go. Okay, that's available right now if you're itching for some hot merch. Okay, just saying. Retired Gunny, what's going on? Says, has anyone officially purchased a Bateman jersey? That's what I'm saying. May not be available. Okay, that might be a collector's item. All right.
So here's the thing. I think I am 3 subscribers away from 8,900. When I hit 9,000, I will give away one of the Ravens' new jerseys.
Oh, that might be a 10,000 thing. I don't know, Hendo.
Oh no! I got something special for 10,000, like really special for 10,000. Like, okay, if we hit it before the season starts, I guarantee you, no one will complain about that gift.
Gotcha. Okay. No. All right. Okay. All right. So 9,000, just 103 subscribers away from 9,000. Ty said, no, Jose, chill. Man, let's get our boy 10,000. What? We can't do 10,000 now? We can do 10,000. All right. Go over to the other side of the street. You know what I'm talking about. Get some of those guys. Get some of those people over there. Just go in the chat and be like, yo, psst, come this way. Come over here. I got some creators I know about. Jose trying to mess up my blessed. No, I'm trying to bless y'all, man. All right, 103 subscribers. That's what he needs to get to 9,000. There you go. Black matte helmet at 10K.
Might be better than that.
Can we even get those helmets? I don't know.
I don't know if they're on sale yet.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to say it's over 9,000 when you pass it.
Let's see if we get there.
There you go. There you go. So you can't even buy a Bateman jersey. You can custom make anything.
Yeah. You just get a
You can custom make it.
Get a 7, put Bateman on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Imani said Hendo giving away a 77 jersey.
No, no.
Is it possible he comes back and just plays better this year?
Who?
Oh, you know what? Not 77, 72. I'm thinking 72 Voorhees.
No, it's not possible.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because he's still on the roster. He's not going anywhere. I feel like he's going to get a shot. Although,
Stu.
What does Stu say? I'm tired of supporting creators who aren't even fans of the team. This ish is getting spooky. You know, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Mafia, baby. If you don't know what this means, that person you're discussing accused us of sending our goons to go and verbally assault him when he was walking around on Fells Point. You know, because we inspire that kind of vitriol and hate towards people, right? From watching this show. That's what he was suggesting.
Thanks.
And I said, you must be out your damn mind.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that one was wild right there.
Yes, Tyrese, that's what I'm talking about.
So the mini, micro, macro, itty bitty nano influencers are saying they influence the people.
That's what he said. That's what he said. He started out on our show coming in hot. Now it's just like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. I take that's your problem. That we had nothing to do with that. We take no responsibility. That's you, and you're lying. Follower Christ says, I think Bateman's gone. Just a hunch, but I think Ravens trading Bateman to get a pick to get the Cowboys pick. Oh, for George Pickens? Listen, if they get George Pickens, I will have a lot of nice things to say about EDC.
Mr. DaCosta, you get George Pickens.
Yes, my friend EDC. Okay,
right. my brother. Like if he gets George Pickens, he's right and wrong because he should have got him the first time. But
facts.
But I do think that it may have been better for Pickens to go somewhere and develop his skills than develop it here. I do think that may have been a better chance for him, and he comes in fully ready
and go to play on for an organization that he didn't appreciate, right? Mm-hmm. Be in the league for a little bit, mature a little bit, and then now he can come over here and appreciate a solid, a more structured organization that's really trying to win. Thanks. All right. Tracy is here. What's going on, Tracy? Good morning to you. Ellis, what's going on? This is Maga Bobby is wild, is a wild boy. Yeah. He didn't appreciate that either. He didn't appreciate me calling him Maga Bobby. Then I started rolling out receipts. He's like, "Can you take that down, please?" I just wanted people to know who they're listening to. That's all. Why would he? But y'all did see that episode, huh? Y'all watched that. That was a while ago. Why would he blame Sarah? What episode did he say all this? Oh, you just. Oh, okay.
You didn't see it.
It's there. I actually it was on the LBHT show originally, and it's still up. But I clipped that part. It's his own video. I think it's called A Civil Conversation with Bobby or something like that. A Civil Conversation with Bobby. I clipped the whole action. I won't call it an interview or guest appearance because we didn't actually invite him. But Yeah, it's there. A civil conversation with Bobby. I called it that because he went on a rant the whole week talking about how he wanted to have a civil conversation. He wasn't sure if it was going to be civil or not or whatever. And I was just like, all right, man, we're not animals.
Right.
But look, I'm not even gonna rehash all that stuff. We had, at least he came on. We had smoke for Sarah too, but she was like, "No, you got it, Bobby." Wait, I just looked and Bate is not even listed on the site, but they have the current and even old players listed. They have Josh Tuopu. I don't.
Really? They
I
still got him?
you know what? I don't. Well, I mean, some of those they're phasing out, right? I'm not. I wonder if you can get Tuopu in. Can you get him in the New Jersey?
Probably not.
Because some of those I think they're trying to like phase out those older ones. I don't know. I be saying Rob a good point. B said, "Listen, that's just business. That doesn't really mean he's going to be gone." Drift Sports says Bateman's issue is his routes take time to develop. Time Lamar doesn't have. Fix the line. Solve three things at once. Good point.
Right.
Good point. The way he plays, he needs a little more time to for his routes to flesh out, and we don't have that time. And you fix the old line, you'll see a different Bateman. Yeah. And I'm not even saying we have to get rid of Rashod Bateman. I'm not saying that his contract is good enough to where we don't have to worry about moving him, but we definitely have to add another piece. That's all I'm saying. We just have to add somebody else. I prefer an elite player because Lamar deserves that. But it doesn't have to be elite, but another really, really, really good wide receiver.
Yeah, and I see somebody in the chat talk about why would Dallas want to give up Pickens for Bateman because he's cheaper, and they're already paying CeeDee Lamb $136 million. They're already having issues. They're having issues as we speak signing Pickens to a long-term deal. So if they can't get that done, they don't want to give him this 1-year deal for all that money and then have him walk. So if they can get somebody, because they tried to trade for Bateman last season. He is somebody that the Cowboys like. Like I said, he's on a cheaper deal and you get him for multiple years.
Yeah.
Do it. Make it happen.
And I mean, I don't know. I can't put my finger on these teams, man. Some teams, they say, look, you got to do better than that for this player. Other teams will just you just pick up the phone and like, okay, you got it. He's yours, right? That's why you ask. That's why I always say, like, you have to do your due diligence and ask these teams because you never know what they're willing to give you, in return for somebody or what they're willing to give up somebody for. Like you never know. You have to ask. Tyrese, thank you for the super chat. Says I was out once I found out he was not a fan. Let me ask you, Tyrese, when did you find out he wasn't a fan? Because that's what started that whole interaction. That's what started that whole interaction, right? He claimed that we were sicking our dogs on him, right? For what we were saying, because we did a video reacting to him saying he wasn't a fan. That's what started it. It was a court of public opinion. Were we going in on him a little bit? Yeah, he deserved it. And Sarah, okay. It's the Sarah thing stemmed from like prior when they called us out. They tried to act like they didn't remember that. Right?
They didn't call you out. They called you toxic.
She called us toxic. They took one of our clips, completely misrepresented what we said, and called us toxic. We kind of let that slide. We laughed that off, but we took our digs at Bobby this time around. Because he was calling out Orioles fans for not showing up to that 4:00 playoff game, right, in the rain, and people were like, "Yo, did you go?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not a fan, so I don't have to be there."
And
so
that's when 10,000 people went in on him, but somehow you guys were the ones who sicked them on him. Like that
was crazy. Yeah,
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, he told you he wasn't a fan. Okay, yeah. Just out, I found out from LBHTShow that Bobby wasn't a fan and was MAGA. Both facts.
Right.
He tried to deny it, but then he saw somewhat admitted that he was by the time I started drilling him a little bit. They just like I lean conservative. Yeah, man, you mega.
Still,
I got the receipts, bro.
it was the funniest thing. I was cracking up, but the funniest thing was when he was like, "Can you take that down?" He was like, "No, no."
Ravens could pay Flowers and George Pickens. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Follower of Christ. There's always ways to do it. They got 5 players on defense making over 100 mil, but only Lamar on offense. They can make it work. They can absolutely make it work.
Mm-hmm.
We have been conditioned. We have been conditioned to think it cannot work, and we even did a thought experiment a couple weeks ago, right? In fact, I think we were talking about George Pickens, and people were in the chat like, "Oh, well, how are we going to do that and pay Zay Flowers?"
Right.
And then I flipped it. I said, "Okay, what if?" I said, "Would you guys rather have George Pickens or Myles Garrett?" Because there's a rumor that Myles Garrett might be available, and people are like, "Get him now, get him now." Well, how are we going to pay for him, Slim?
Right.
How are we gonna pay that? Myles Garrett will cost more than George Pickens.
How we gonna pay? How we gonna pay Myles Garrett and Trey Hendrickson? But people didn't care.
Do it.
People didn't care. Just get it done.
And listen, edge rusher. You know, they are slowly starting to make that case that maybe we should go edge rush in the first round. I saw Andrew Whitworth, that clip where he was talking about Trey Hendrickson and how, look, as a pass rusher, he's nice, but if you run the ball at him, it's like running through paper. You know, so people, but that's one of the things we already knew about him. That's not a surprise, right? So maybe he's not an every down edge rusher. Maybe it's one of those things like, okay, we bring him in on pass rushing situations, and we have to go and get another edge rusher, to go out there and play every snap or something. I don't know.
But that's a pretty steep price to pay for a situational edge rusher.
Yep, I agree. Almost like it was a knee-jerk reaction, but what do I know? He always trying to give the bad reporters the benefit of the doubt. Oh yeah, I can't. It is what it is. That he stays on that side, we stay on this side over here. Just Sports says, get another shifty Zay like guy or possession guy. 2 weapons like Zay would be tough to guard. Ted Hurst is like 6'4" with wheels. Yeah, coach really likes Ted Hurst. Really likes Ted Hurst. I like him. We got people to stop the run. There you go. Yeah. Our run defense actually, I don't think it was bad last year, was it?
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Because they could throw on us. They didn't even try.
Yeah, I'm just not worried about the defense, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not worried about the defense. I think we have a lot of talent already. I think the guys that didn't perform well, that was a coaching thing. That wasn't a talent thing. I think with this coaching staff, they're going to play better. They're going to hit. They're going to tackle better. Everything is going to look better. I fully believe that. I just don't think we need to keep stacking on the defensive side. I think what we have now is going to work.
Right.
I think it's going to work. The offense, that's where we need to put some work in.
And Stu said against the Lions, we were trash against the run. David Montgomery destroyed. It wasn't even Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery destroyed us. But more importantly, Detroit, with a recovering Aiden Hutchinson, had 7 sacks.
Right.
So the offensive line was even worse than the run defense.
Right.
It was horrible. Right. Monday Night Football. Embarrassed.
Yeah. Guard, wide receiver, center, tight end. Center is number 1, but but we need all of them. But in the first round, there's no first round worthy center, right? I would go guard. I would go Vega, or wide receiver, right? Depending on who falls, or if we want to move up and get Carnell Tate, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Right.
So it would be guard, wide receiver in that order. In the second round, it might be a reach a little bit. I don't care. Get your center. You know why I want center in the second round, not the third round? That tells me that they understand the urgency and that guy is going to start. He's going to have every opportunity to start at least. You go get center in the second round, that's saying that's our new center.
Because you don't want to wait till the third round and then all the guys that you want are gone. Then you have to just settle for whomever's there because you don't have a center.
Yeah. Yes, Tanja. Offense first round and second round. And possibly third round.
Third.
We're behind the curve. We're behind the curve. Like we have to. We need guard. Look, John Simpson is going to start. I get it, and Emory Jones is there, but we still need a guard. At least one guard. Mm-hmm. We need a center. We really need two centers. We don't have. Danny Pinter. It could be a backup, I guess. All right. We don't know what Corey Bullock can bring us yet. We don't know. Right. But I would say two centers. They don't have to be back to back, but we need a center. We need a guard. We need a swing tackle. Right. We need a swing tackle plus a tackle that we can groom for later.
Right.
So 3 things we need on the O-line. We need wide receiver. We need tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Possibly backup running back.
Things. And we need a backup running back. Nobody's talking about that.
Right.
Nobody's talking about that. Like that's a need. Right.
Remember the article yesterday? They were like, yeah, Danny Pinter, the 30-year-old with 10 starts. That man is 30 years old and has 10 career starts. But we think that can be our starting center, right? That's appropriate. That's okay.
That's not, yeah. That's yeah. Tanja, this draft needs to be dedicated to the offense. That's all I gotta say. It needs to be dedicated to the offense. And listen, I'll be tempted to see, if some of these defensive guys drop, I'll be tempted to be like, man, just grab them real quick. But man, we have to fight the temptation and get what we need to get on offense. Follower crisis in my latest mock, I got Sadiq, Pregnon, Hurst, and Lou. That's a nice grab right there. Yeah. That's a real nice grab. Neuropsych Sports says Emory can move to right tackle when we pick Vega and Roger becomes our swing tackle. Well, I mean, look, Roger Rosengarten in his first year did pretty good holding down that side. I wouldn't just automatically move him. It has to be a competition. I'll say that. It has to be a competition.
Right.
And Coach pointed out something too that I didn't even think about. Rosengarten started out as a left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He moved to right tackle because what's the QB's name? Yeah, he's left-handed.
He's a left.
Michael Penix is left-handed, so he was guarding his blind side.
Right.
But he might be able to work out a left tackle. Somebody had suggested that a while back when I was like, if we don't sign Ryan Stanley, what are we going to do? And they're like, yo, move Rosengarten over to left tackle, and I kind of wrote that off because I didn't realize he actually started out as left tackle. So maybe that's something we can look at. Like maybe that's something to experiment with if Ryan Stanley is hurt again this year.
Right.
Switching Rosengarten over to left tackle and have somebody go over to right tackle. But yeah, we definitely need to bring in another tackle to develop. I know Carson Vincent is there. He played well in preseason. I hope he continues to develop, but we got to bring in more competition.
Mm-hmm.
Question: Doomsday scenario. No Vega, Tyson, Sadiq, Bain, Love, Fano, Malga. So who do we get? Is that what you're asking? Who do we get in that scenario? No Vega, no Tyson, no Sadiq, no Bain, no Love. You didn't say Carnell Tate though. You didn't say Tate. There, I would say at 14, well, somebody has to drop in that case, right?
Somebody. Yeah.
Who would be there?
Caleb Downs.
No, not. Yeah. Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate, or trade back a little bit, and get Caden Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
Get Caden Proctor. He is a tackle, but from what I could tell, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I've seen a couple of reports say he might be better suited to play inside, play interior O-line. So maybe do that. You know,
Right.
Tracy, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate
Appreciate
that.
it.
Says I would like a offensive line player in the first, but if not, at least a weapon for Lamar.
Right.
No defense in the first round this year. I agree. I agree. So
100%.
Tracy, I said earlier, right? Like there are very few things that make me crash out in the first round, right? Even if they went defense, because we do have a need at defensive tackle. I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't sit there and be clapping it up, but I would understand. We do have a need there. Edge rusher, I wouldn't like it, but if we got Ruben Bain, I understand, right? If we go cornerback, we have a problem.
Right.
If we go linebacker, I don't. We better not get Sonny Styles. We better not get Sonny Styles. If Sonny Styles drops,
Right.
and we're like, oh, we gotta get him. He's too good of a talent. You better not cheer that on. Do not encourage. Don't encourage those those bad behaviors.
Right.
Right. So there's a couple of things that make me crash out, but in general, like just get a position to need.
I'm crashing out defensive tackle. If it's a defensive tackle that is limited with pass rush, like I don't need Brandon Williams 2.0. Like 14 is too high. I've seen people say, well, he can develop, he may turn into something. I don't need somebody that can turn into something at 14. If he's an elite run stuffer, cool. But if he can't affect the game getting to the quarterback, 14, I don't hear anybody talking about that's not the right value. They don't say that with the defense. That's not the right value. But guard, oh, that's too high to get a guard. Somebody protecting your quarterback is too high. But a guy that can just stop the run, which we all do, which they already do effectively, isn't too high. Like you're not getting great value in that. Talking about he can develop. I don't want to wait for anybody to develop anymore. So if I see a defensive tackle that doesn't have pass rush skills, or if I see another cornerback or safety, I'm crashing out and I'm breaking a TV.
Oh, it better not be safety. Especially after you joked about it. Right, joked about not going safety this year. He better not do that.
He was like, I think
there's a lot of offensive linemen in this draft after we get all of our picks. Get some more guards for competition. Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I think this year, yes, getting some people in there to compete for that job will generate better results than what we had in the past. But you still need talent at the end of the day. You can't just get whoever off the street and say, all right, compete. You got to have some guys that can actually play.
Right.
All those premium guys were gone. Tate included. I had to trade back twice and end up getting 25th and 30th to Caden McDonald. That's not bad. And Meisdor at edge, then got Rutledge, followed by center Logan Jones. Is Logan Jones a center or a guard? I see him as a guard in different sites. Okay, so you went two defensive players there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Concepcion still there.
Yeah.
What's that tackle's name? Ian Hacho. Caden Proctor. There's still some O linemen that you can get there. I would probably go O line, man. I'll probably go O line. But that's not bad either.
Wide receiver. If you pick a 25 or 30, you better get him somebody to protect him and somebody to make plays for him.
Yeah.
2 first rounders.
And or Denzel Boston. If people think Boston's better than Concepcion, then you get him there. I don't care if he's projected to be a first round pick or not. Like if you think he's better, somebody else might think he's better. And you're sitting there saying, I'll wait until the next round to get him, and then he's gone.
30.
So go ahead and grab him up right there.
30th is essentially a second round anyway. So
facts. Yeah. Kenny Sadiq or O-line, that's it. Gotta be. We'll see. What's up, Jay? Says so we should tune in for Hendo and Yolanda to see what happens then. Well, actually, Hendo will be joining us on Thursday. It's already scheduled. Yeah, it's already scheduled. Coach already did the thumbnail. Once he puts the thumbnail up, you can't change it.
Bro, I work Thursday night.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, you're working here. All right, couple more. We gotta get out of here. We've hit the hour mark. I'm a little over. That's all right. Stu says we picked Za and Mark in late rounds. I think we have to reach for a tight end.
We don't. And he already said that he may possibly double dip at the position. And if you just look back throughout the Ravens' history, the second tight end that they draft is always better than the first one.
It's usually better, yeah.
It's always better than the first one. So
yeah.
that's crazy.
Typically. That is wild.
Ain't it?
Yeah. Even took Pregnon, so I pivot. Oh, they took Pregnon, so you pivoted the defense. It was insane. But see, what you did in your scenario, that's exactly why, like you can't just sit tight and think somebody's going to be there, because, we do these mock drafts and we expect players to be somewhere. But when the draft actually happens, you realize, oh, other teams actually value those same players that we valued, and now they're not there. And now what do we do? Right. So that mock draft that you did is a perfect example of what can happen in real life, right? So sometimes you have to be aggressive. The reason why those guys weren't there when you're picking is because either team recognized the value or teams moved up ahead of us to get those guys, and you have to be aware of what's going on, right? So if we have to move up, then move up to secure that. You have to do what you have to do to get the players that you need.
Thanks.
Top One Crest, appreciate the super chat, says, with how depleted the offense is, if those first 3 picks not offense, we got a problem. Yeah. You're right.
Good thing is we don't have to wait long to find out.
That's right. All right. So with that, we're going to end this stream. Tomorrow, come back. We got another show, and then we got the LBHT show and the overtime show. All right. You can find that on my Patreon, patreon.com/LBHTShow. Hendo just put out some content. He's going to give you some extra content on his Patreon, patreon.com/ROUG. Also, like I said, check out the newsletter, LBHTShow.com. It's free. Go scroll down to the bottom, put your email in there, and you'll get a newsletter in your email every Monday at noon. All right. Tyrese, thank you for the super chat. Says, y'all doing a draft special? Yes.
They are. Yes.
And they'll be there. Sorry if I didn't hear. That's all good. Yes. Yeah, myself, B, Coach, Chris, just joking from the Deep Cover podcast. Sutton is not going to be there, but Hendo is. Oh, Mike will be there too from Deep Cover podcast. Yeah, I think. Sorry, Mike, if I just if I made plans for you, but I think he said he was gonna be there.
You just made plans for me, though, the problem.
Well, I promise, Coach, I will bully you. Okay. I don't know what to tell you.
Got it.
All right, y'all. We out of here. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.